Thanks for clicking on Wayne.com for another edition of Inside the Zone. Justin Kinney from the News Sentinel joining us, as always, on Monday to talk high school football. And Justin, let's start off in 6A because Homestead wins the sectional championship first since 2006, first in 6A last week.
I predicted that one.
Did you really? Yeah, that's right, you did. I had Carroll. It was a good football game.
It was a good football game. Every other game I missed, pretty much. But
you were a genius in 6A.
I had a clean sweep in 6A in area games.
Boom. They get Carmel this week.
Yeah, congratulations.
We've seen what some of those really good Indianapolis teams do in 6A specifically. Carmel last year beat a pretty good Carroll team, 56-6. They come off a win against Fishers, 28-7. What do you see as being the key for Homestead? Because luckily the game is here at Homestead.
Yeah. You need a game where Carmel makes a lot of mistakes, just comes off the bus flat, gets some bounces your way. Not to take anything away from Homestead, but Homestead and Carroll are still significantly behind Carmel in terms of the quality of their teams. I mean, that is what Coach Doug Dinan said. That's why we went to the SAC, is to try to close that gap. Homestead probably the same way. They learned a lot to try in the next couple of years to build up and get to that Carmel spot. Now Homestead gets that opportunity to get that barometer on where they're at in relation to a Carmel and the 6A powers in Indy. Carroll got that chance the last couple of years. Now Homestead gets it. It's just a game that's very tough to look at and see Homestead has a realistic shot. I just think a lot of things have to go right and a lot of things have to go wrong for Carmel.
It's funny that you mentioned the level of competition now in the SAC, because both Coach Zolman and Doug Dinan, as you said that was one of the biggest things about moving to the SAC for their program, was to get ready to face juggernaut Indianapolis or juggernaut teams from across the state.
Yeah.
How are they better prepared? I mean, what did the SAC do to better prepare them for a game like this on Friday night?
Well, I think it's more consistent competition week to week. I know, in the Northeast State or in the North, the NHC, you had a lot of games where, look, if you showed up, you were going to win. And that was just straight up what it was. And you didn't have very many games where you had your guys playing a complete 4 quarters, because by halftime you were up 28 or 30. And just not as many opportunities for that in the SAC. And every week is a challenge. You just cannot let up. I think Carroll learned that lesson the hard way week 3 when they opened against Northrop and Southside, and then had Northside a tick up in competition. And I think those 2 games to start off the season, Carroll was like, look at us, man. We're 2-0 in the SAC. But you played 2 of the bottom 3 teams in the conference, and I think that was the jolt that Carroll needed to get it started. So you get that a lot more in the SAC. Every week is a challenge, just like it is down in Indy, and that's what Homestead and Carroll have gotten this year.
If you're a Homestead fan, though, you have to feel a little bit better because Drew Casey came into this season, hadn't started a game as a varsity quarterback. He comes in, completes the regular season, and then they didn't have a real challenge in week 1 of the postseason, but in week 2, he steps up to the plate. You got a junior quarterback playing his first significant playoff game, 5 total touchdowns, 383 total yards, and a win against Carroll. Are you feeling a little bit at ease because you have a quarterback now that has made some plays in a big-time playoff game?
Yeah, considering the kid's just a junior, he comes back next year. Tremendous experience for him at that Carroll game, and another tremendous experience for him Friday to learn and play the upper echelon teams in the state, and you got one coming in Friday with Carmel. So he's going to play the best of the best this Friday, and is going to learn what he's going to have to work on in the offseason. Tremendous job by Drew Casey all year. It's just steadily improved. A great runner as well. You get him out of the pocket, he's dangerous. Similar to Isaac Stiebling at Snyder, they can beat you in a multitude of ways, both with their arm and their legs. And props to Drew Casey. He's a phenomenal quarterback.
All right, final question. Real quick, what do you think Homestead has to do realistically to get a victory on Friday?
Man, Carmel's got to make some mistakes. They have to force a lot of turnovers, score every time you have the ball. Score every time. Because I don't know if Homestead defense can slow them down enough to win a 28-21 game. If you're going to have a shot, you're going to have to win 49-42. One of the advantages, I think, of playing Carmel at home is you don't have that Carmel atmosphere. And, Homestead has not played Carmel for a while. Those kids have not played Carmel. So when they go to that metropolis of Carmel High School, that campus, and they're just wide-eyed, and they just, hey, you have to focus. You have a football game to play here. Don't have to worry about that Friday because they have to come up here. So I think that is an added benefit, that the kids don't get that wow factor that you get going to Carmel High School. Don't have to deal with that Friday. I think that helps out.